Hi, my name is Laurel Pritchard. I work in the Office of the Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education. And thank you, Haroon, for sort of setting up the relationship between program level learning outcomes and course objectives, because I'd like to talk a little bit about university level learning outcomes and syllabi, because one of the things that our office does is provide support to faculty who teach in general education courses, and we also assess learning outcomes or help faculty to assess learning outcomes in those gen ed courses. So the handout that Marianne just gave you is just a very brief excerpt from a syllabus that I've used for COLA 100, which is a first-year seminar. And the goal of these first-year seminar courses, and really the goal of all of our gen ed courses, is to expose students to, and as they work through their degree programs, reinforce the university undergraduate learning outcomes, or ULOs. So hopefully you've all at least heard of the ULOs. Maybe you can recite them in your sleep like I can. But to me, when constructing any syllabus, but particularly for these gen ed courses that all students have to take, I really want my students to be able to answer three questions when they look at their syllabus. What am I going to be learning? Where will I learn it? And how will I know, and how will my instructor know that I've learned it? And so those are sort of the three key things that I try to put as close to the front of the syllabus as I can. So that includes the learning outcomes for your course, and if you're teaching a gen ed course, those university undergraduate learning outcomes. And then, very similar to the table that you saw in the first handout, I link each assignment to the ULOs that I'm evaluating or assessing with that assignment. So you can see at the bottom of the front of the first page, right after those learning outcomes, you have the major assignments listed, and for each assignment, the ULOs that I'm assessing in that assignment and the due date for the assignment. So that helps the student to answer those first two questions. What am I going to be learning, and where will I be learning it? And then, of course, after all of those assignments, I have how the grade for the course will be broken down based on the points assigned to each of those assignments or activities, so that the students have some sense of how things are weighted and how they'll be evaluated. The final thing that I would mention that you actually don't see on the handout, but that I do include particularly when I'm teaching a first-year seminar course on the syllabus, is an expectation of the workload for the course. This is so important for first-year students because they may really have no idea what it takes in terms of time and effort to do well in college-level courses. So the expectation that I typically give for my first-year seminar course, and it may vary depending on the kind of course you're teaching, is that they should be spending 2 hours outside of class for every hour they're spending inside of class, or about 5 hours per week for a 3-credit course. And so that sets up that expectation for them. It gives them some idea from the very beginning, before they even start that first assignment, where they should be. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about syllabus design. Thanks.